People can say I'm letting LeBron off the hook. Where the lion's share of this blame lays for the Lakers is at the feet of the person who made us optimistic about the Lakers, which is Luka.
Well, if you're not letting LeBron off the hook, then Clutch Sports is gonna let you off the hook of the payroll. So I understand what you're doing, but it's sad that he's pretending like he's not financially incentivized to say the obnoxious, insane things that he's saying every day about LeBron.
I mean, obviously.
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope y'all having a good day so far. So I wanted to check in with what some other creators were thinking about the whole, Lakers in 5. Well, Lakers being sent home in 5 situation. Considering, I mean, there's so much to really unpack. I mean, considering they were the number 3 seed, and a lot of people are forgetting they were favored to win. Not just like in Vegas, or whatever he used to say in Vegas, but not just on sport betting apps, but they were favored to win. I mean, just by rankings alone, So it's just another situation where LeBron has a good regular season and collapses in the playoffs. We've seen it 1,000 times. That's where you get those 6 finals losses, and that's not even accounting for all the other times they came up short and didn't quite make the finals on a LeBron James team. But anyways, I wanted to see what Uncut Hoops has to say about this one. It's been a little while. Uncut, what's up if you're watching this? I'm excited about this one. Should be good fun. I'm still in a celebratory mood over here. Not much else to say. This one's called LeBron James Will Never Be Michael Jordan. Yes, I'm clicking on that video. If I wasn't doing this reaction right now, I'd be watching this video right now, just chilling outside and kicking back and enjoying myself. So anyways, let's check this out. Let's see why LeBron James will never be Michael Jordan, even though I already agree with your statement 100% wholeheartedly. But I want to see your take. Anyways, everyone, before we get into it, new member, Radio Silence 85. Thank you very much for joining on. I just wanted to give you a quick shout out. Everyone, please leave this video a like. It helps out a ton. Guys, let's check it out.
If there was somebody on the floor that I felt was in better condition or was better fit for the moment than me, then I could possibly sit down for a little longer. I have not seen that yet.
Billy Smith and Hachimura got tied up. James fell out of his hands, picked up by McDaniels. McDaniels down the lane, inside, layup's good, and the foul.
He had so many turnovers and bad plays in the fourth quarter of this series.
Randall gets inside,
this is game
leans
3.
in. Tied up, Randall played him well. Back to Finney Smith. Into the hands of James, fires up.
Clank. How many times have we seen this in the playoffs? He did this in the Denver series last season, too.
If there was somebody on the floor that I felt was in better condition or was better fit for the moment than me, then I
that was the big one. That was the big one. 30 okay, so it's 31 seconds left. Because I kept telling my friends it was in the last 30 seconds that LeBron got that big turnover right here.
Was better fit for the moment.
I want to see, because I didn't really break it down. Was he going Austin Reeves here?
Than me.
Oh, he missed his time. He couldn't see. Is that Randall on him? Yeah, that's good defense, man. Okay, so he broke the easy pass. That was going to be to Austin Reeves. Now what are we doing? Trying to get it into Luka. Okay, so he had to lean to the left.
Or was better fit for the moment.
To get around Randall, I'm assuming he has to kind of lean to the left, and he's got a bad angle here. Let's see. No, okay, there's the first one. He was late. He was about a second and a half late for Reeves. Second option. Yeah, that's a risky pass from out of bounds. Yep. Okay.
Could possibly sit down for a little longer.
The next day.
That was just a bad pass and great defense. But yeah, right after that ends up being the foul on Ant-Man, which basically that was the game right there after those free throws.
Is going to win this series and knock out the Lakers, the 3 seed, 4 games to 1.
Yep.
For the better
Gentleman
part of the
sweep.
past decade, the biggest debate in sports, the biggest debate in basketball, has been Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, and who's the GOAT of the NBA.
And I don't even know why.
And here's how it usually goes. For Michael Jordan's playoff failures, which are few and far between, they're magnified, scrutinized, and nitpicked all day long. For LeBron James, the exact opposite. He loses series, chokes in the finals. It wasn't his fault.
God dang. 2 points. Oh, man. Didn't he go scoreless in game 4 in the fourth quarter?
The team wasn't built
This series?
to his strengths. He only had 2 All-Stars, and the role players didn't come through.
People can say I'm letting LeBron off the hook. Where the lion's share of this blame lays for the Lakers is at the feet of the person who made us optimistic about the Lakers, which is Luka.
Well, if you're not letting LeBron off the hook, then Clutch Sports is gonna let you off the hook of the payroll. So I understand what you're doing, but it's sad that he's pretending like he's not financially incentivized to say the obnoxious, insane things that he's saying every day about LeBron.
I mean, obviously, you're only as great as your teammates, allow you to be as well.
Wow. What an underhanded way to throw your team under the bus.
If you're truly the greatest player in league history, your resume and reputation speak for itself. You shouldn't need excuses, deflections, blaming others to make your case. For Jordan, it's straightforward and simple. For LeBron James, you have all these weird narratives, weird deflections to prop him up on Jordan's level. And speaking of weird deflections, weird narratives, what do we see every single season? LeBron James, if he does X, Y, Z, he'll pass Jordan in this year's playoffs.
But if this Nets team can make it out the East and Bron takes care of them, he's the undisputed GOAT. Beating 2 super teams today is greater than 6-0 in the 90s.
Okay. Oh, man, this is before Clutch Sports started harassing Perk. He had a different tone about LeBron for a little while there, but I think they got him back. I think they pressured him back in because for a little while he was speaking out against them.
LeBron James beats Denver and marches forward to ultimately win another chip. I don't know how strong my argument is going to be on behalf of Jordan moving forward.
Well, it didn't happen now, did it?
If LeBron comes back from 3-1 at 40, I don't want to even hear about a GOAT debate.
What is the big deal about coming back from 3-1? Wouldn't the better option be to destroy your opponent, sweep them, or you win the series 4-1 or 4-2, for example? Isn't that something to be more proud of than, we fell apart in the beginning, and then we had to come back from behind and win? Like, why is that something to be proud of? I don't understand. I mean, it's cool you won because that's all that matters at the end of the day, but a win is just a win. You know what I mean? So I don't see that it's cool that you start out the series terrible. I'd rather see a team that's great, that's playing consistent throughout the entire series. But it seems like there's this big thing about it, coming back from behind. It doesn't make you the underdog if you're still the one, if, like in this series, the Lakers are favored to win. So even if they did come back 3-1, that just sets them even. That's the way we used to see it. It's like, okay, well, that's what was supposed to happen. They were supposed to win. But now going into the next round, as a Laker fan, I'd be a little worried. Like, that was a terrible start of the series. They can't do that again. It's not something to brag about, though. That's a bad look. Same thing in one game. If your team at halftime is down by 30 and you come back and win the game, if you're a coach, are you really proud of your team that day? Like, you're happy you won, but at the same time, you're like, we got some problems. That can't happen anymore.
Those wild what-ifs hypotheticals, they're almost wet dreams. LeBron fans openly wondering, if LeBron does this, it might turn the tide. He doesn't do it, then they're crickets.
Yeah.
And here's the dirty secret. Seeing those hypotheticals as what-ifs, LeBron fans at this point are very, very desperate.
That's a good point by Uncut. That's a perfect point. Because, okay, if they really did believe that LeBron was the GOAT, then why would they have to set it up with, well, if he does this, then, now he might be. If he really is the GOAT, then he should be the GOAT regardless of what he does right now. Kind of like Jordan was when he was playing for the Wizards. It was already done. He was already the GOAT. Didn't matter what he did moving forward. But with LeBron, it's like if he does it, oh, he might be the GOAT. But what about if he doesn't, which he didn't? And he never does. Then what? Then are you listening to us now and going, yeah, this is why he's not the GOAT?
In the whole longevity case, it's really wearing thin. LeBron's played 22 years, we understand that. But in comparison to Jordan, that longevity is kind of backfiring.
It is.
LeBron, in comparison to Jordan, has played 600 more games, 22,000 more minutes, and 7 total seasons more. And still he trails Jordan in all these major accolades. When Michael Jordan won his 5th championship, he was 34. LeBron James, age 40, still hasn't done it. His 5th Finals MVP, the exact same age, 34. His 5th MVP, which LeBron James doesn't have, Jordan was 33. And his 6th All-Defensive team, which LeBron doesn't have, MJ was
at 30.
What are you doing, George? I'm writing this down. This is good stuff.
Great movie.
For LeBron's career longevity, it's a big theme, the major theme. But ask yourself the question, in comparison to Jordan, looking at age 30 to age 40, is it a higher quality of longevity, more meaningful longevity?
30 to 40. Dang. So yeah, in those 10 years, he's got a better resume. 4 Finals MVPs. Okay, tie. 2 MVPs. Okay, fine. 4 times all defense. Okay, so in 10 years, he's done what LeBron did in 22 years, but he only took 10 years to do it. Crazy.
If you ask me, it isn't. As Jordan during his prime in the 90s, maximized
Actually, he kind of did more. Because LeBron never did that, and he never did that. I doubt he did that, too. But he might have. Same here. Same here. Okay, no, he probably has... Does he have 4 times? I think he's got like 3 all-defense, maybe 4. So, yeah. We'll stick with this side, is stuff that LeBron didn't do. So, no, Jordan's career from those 10 years was better than LeBron's 22-year career. As far as accomplishments that goes, if that's the idea of the game, is to win and win stuff.
Every single season and got the most out of his career. LeBron James has left rings, MVPs, and a ton of other accolades on the table.
Yep.
And looking at LeBron's tenure in Los Angeles post the bubble championship, which is still pretty iffy, LeBron's past 5 years have been absolutely brutal.
What the heck?
2021, lost in the first round.
The second he I'm sorry. I should be listening, not watching. The second he misses the layup, he pretends like he gets
past 5 years
hit on the head. When did he get hit on the head? He just hit himself.
Absolutely brutal.
What the hell? Okay. LeBron is LeBron is a failure. Yep. Okay, first round. Yep. Everything after the championship has been a bust, and that's why the bubble championship in our mind will always have an asterisk. Because I don't know. I don't think they would have done it, man, if it wasn't for the bubble. So let's see. Lost in the first round, missed the playoffs in 2022. That was pretty. 2023, swept. Yeah, they did make it far. Denver swept them. And then Denver gave them the gentleman's sweep in the first round last year. And now the Timberwolves gave them the gentleman's sweep in the first round this year. So it's getting worse. Technically, outside of this crazy fiasco of a season, or not this one, but this one, and that's when they had Westbrook, right?
2021, lost in the first round.
Who's hooping, by the way? If you guys are watching any Denver games, Westbrook is hooping.
Was absolutely disgraced. 2022, with the so-called super team of Russ, AD, Melo, Dwight, and Rondo, they missed the postseason. The following year, 2023, after firing Frank Vogel, they made the West Finals, and of course, in that series, LeBron James choked in the biggest moments. 2024, the exact same thing versus Denver. Lost the series in 5 games, and LeBron in the clutch absolutely came up short. And last but not least, 2025 versus Minnesota. LeBron yet again this series, as the favorite, the higher seed, choked in the biggest moments. This latest LeBron James blunder, it was a doozy. In typical LeBron James fashion, it took 45 minutes an hour to blame Rob Pelinka and ask for more help.
Basically from mid-January on, right when AD got injured, you guys started playing a lot of centerless basketball. How tough was that for the last 3.5 months to play that style, and do you feel like that caught up at all in this series?
No comment. I'll never say that because my guy AD said what he needed, and then he was gone the following week. So
yeah, that I saw that. I saw that. I was listening to this press conference while walking the dog that night. Dude, I don't even know what to say. It's just another smoke screen. We all know who did it. It's the GM. So now he's acting like, oh no, I better keep my mouth shut or else I'm going to get traded. Give me a break. I got to point out one thing real quick. Everyone, LeBron fans say that LeBron can guard 1 through 5, right? All right. Rudy Gobert's the guy who destroyed the Lakers in that final game, correct? Why didn't LeBron guard him? LeBron was the biggest guy on the Lakers roster. Why didn't LeBron guard him if he's so good at guarding 1 through 5? He could have shut down Rudy Gobert, right? Why didn't he do it? Team captain, right? Leader? Guard 1 through 5? Why didn't he do it? When does he ever guard a center? All right, that's it.
Past 5 years LeBron James in LA, it's been really revealing. This guy's attitude, his smugness, just the general cockiness of LeBron James has been on full display. And like you saw in that clip, always makes excuses, deflects, doesn't have enough help. LeBron James is the only so-called GOAT who always needs a perfect team around him to compete for championships.
Yeah, we had Rio, we had Udonis, but we didn't have enough as far as enough complimentary guys to actually make it all.
Well, maybe. You just making excuses.
Yes,
and
sir,
one thing
MJ.
I do want to highlight when comparing Jordan versus LeBron James is their dominance as the higher seed, their dominance as the favorite. For someone like Jordan as the favorite...
It almost feels like that was a message to LeBron, He said, maybe I ruined it, or maybe he was just making excuses.
He always won. I'm not joking.
Wow. Wait, say that again?
Someone like Jordan as the favorite, he always won.
Oh, yeah. That's why it's such a big deal, and that's why I point out that they were the number 3 seed, and Minnesota was the number 6. We're used to the Bulls being the underdog and coming back and beating, not coming back from behind, but beating the giant until they were the giant sometimes. But honestly, in the NBA Finals, a lot of times, they weren't the team with the best record in the league, so they were still the underdog. But yeah, when they were favored, shoot, they're not losing.
I'm not joking. MJ's home court advantage was a perfect 24-0. Even the great Bill Russell can't say that. For LeBron's career, he's lost not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times, but 5 times.
2021 versus Phoenix, yeah. Dang, that's when we went to the finals. 2011 versus Dallas, yep, I know. So funny. People want to pretend like they were the underdogs there. Shoot. 2010 versus Boston. Yep. And jeez. This is what led to him getting out of Cleveland was, these 2 blunders. But then it's not the team's fault because he did it again. And he took a good break from doing it, huh? Until recently. But he's back to true LeBron form.
With home court advantage.
It's gotta hurt.
Anthony Edwards, prior to this series starting, he said Minnesota was the underdogs, they had nothing to lose, no pressure. Edwards saying that, he's 1000% right. Who the pressure was on was LeBron James, Luka, and JJ Redick. And of course, all 3 of them cracked under that pressure.
I like Ant-Man in the press conference after they beat him. He was like, I feel great. We just beat the best player ever. So good. So good. He doesn't give a damn.
For someone like Jordan, yes, he wasn't perfect, had bad games here and there. But when he was favored and supposed to win, he always won.
Did you know I was going to react to this or something uncut? Why you got to throw this in there?
A lot of players, no matter how great they were, cannot say that.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
For LeBron James getting 6 rings, even 5 rings, it's never happening. This guy's not a winning player anymore, and he's too old. And of course, the media, they can't cope with that. As like we see time and time again, they keep saying he's in his prime, he's, typical LeBron James, a top 5 player.
Until he loses, and then they say, oh, he's old, he's 40. Literally, one of my best friends is a LeBron fan. And I mean, at this point, we're kind of just trolling each other because we know we're so divided on this topic. But the same thing, I hit him up after the Lakers lost, and I'm like, I was like, what happened? Why'd your goat fall apart in the last 3 fourth quarters? What happened, buddy? He's like, oh, he's old. I was like, give me a break. And I had to bring it up. I'm like, if he's so old, why is he the highest paid player on the team? Why is he getting that max contract and gobbling up all that money? Doesn't max money mean max production? So old or not old, shouldn't you be producing more than everybody else instead of making excuses? And he's just like, oh no, he just backs away from the conversation. I love that dude though. He's freaking hilarious.
And then of course, when he loses, it's LeBron James. He's the victim. He's old and he's 40.
If you were wondering about those ridiculous cups and stuff that I designed in my shop, it was for him. It was for that friend, and I'm still planning on actually purchasing one, a cup from that company, just so I can give it to him. That one of those water bottles with LeBron on the toilet seat. It's so stupid. But yeah, I literally designed it for him because I was just gonna make it like a gift the next time I see him. And then I ended up just like, actually putting it out because I figured I already designed it. Might as well do it. But yeah, he's a good friend.
Respect so much. For a lot of LeBron fans like Perkins, Shannon Sharp, and Nick Wright, their biggest enemy is themselves. As LeBron scores 35 points on a random Tuesday, it's proof LeBron James is the GOAT. He's stamped right there.
Yeah. So LeBron guards 1 through 5. Why'd he give up 24 rebounds to Rudy Gobert?
Then of course the playoffs come around.
If you haven't noticed, I'm just trolling the narrative. I know he wasn't guarding Gobert. I'm fully aware of this. However, the narrative is he can guard 1 through 5. So why didn't he do it?
He fumbles, bumbles, loses in the first round. Then all of a sudden LeBron James, he's 40 years old. This shouldn't count on his resume. And looking at someone like Nick Wright, when it comes to MJ and Washington, those 2 years, he holds him against MJ very much.
Why? Jordan was already established as the greatest player of all time by the time he retired in 1998. The Wizards' years don't matter when it comes to legacy. That was bonus time. LeBron is still chasing Michael Jordan's legacy. He's still trying to get those 6 championships. It's different. LeBron's chasing something. That's why he can't let go. Jordan was just scratching an itch to play and trying to help out an organization. Completely different situations.
People just react like you spit at them. Like, oh, you're going to bring up the Wizards years? Oh, I don't know, guys. Was he playing? Was he younger when he started with the Wizards than LeBron is right now?
So, stopping that right there, Nick Wright, very animated, very upset.
I know, he looked like he was going to cry.
MJ's years in Washington aren't talked about enough. And look, old MJ with the Wizards missing the playoffs twice, yes, kind of a stain on his legacy, a bad ending. But here's the thing, MJ in Washington...
Remind you, though, that those are the only 2 seasons he ever missed the playoffs in his entire career. And he was dealing with a broken rib, a torn meniscus, and a effed up finger.
Who is he playing with? Jerry Stackhouse 1 year, Rip Hamilton the next. He didn't have an Anthony Davis, a Westbrook, heck, certainly not a Luka Doncic. He didn't have any all-star caliber players, superstar players. LeBron in LA has had that every single season. And look at his past 3 series. First Minnesota, 4-1. Denver, 4-1. And then a sweep, and a 20 West Final.
The last 3 series of his career right now, he's 2-12. 2 wins, 12 losses. Yeah.
Finals. LeBron James, every one of those series, had a superstar alongside him. MJ in Washington did not have that. If Mike wanted a cheap 7th ring, a cheap 8th ring, he could have gone to the Lakers, the Spurs, one of the top teams in the West, or even the East. MJ, though, went to the Wizards. Their expectations weren't championship. LeBron James' Lakers...
The goal for the organization was just to make the playoffs. And that was Michael Jordan's goal, too. He said it in the beginning. My goal is to lead this team to the playoffs. It didn't end up working out. Injuries in the first season, and then he played all 82 games in the second season, but he had to start off coming off the bench because he just had a meniscus surgery, so to repair his knee.
Having superstar talent, a stacked roster, that's a different level. If you want to say all those years count, go ahead and say it. But MJ missing the playoffs in Washington with Jerry Stackhouse isn't the same as LeBron James in the West missing the playoffs with Westbrook Davis and a loaded cap.
No, let's be real. If the Wizards had a Luka Doncic, Jordan wouldn't have come out of retirement because the organization would have been just fine. He did it because they had no one leading them. So he figured, okay, let me come back and lead these guys, try to get them to the playoffs. And while I'm here, let me pass on my knowledge because he was part of the ownership. You know, like he was president of basketball operations at that time. So he's thinking, let me inject some of my fire for the game into these young kids. And then I walk away and go back to the front office. Like he had a long-term vision here. Washington did not live up to their end of the deal. That's a whole nother story. But the idea was that. That's all it really was. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go out and get my seventh ring because I'm not considered the GOAT and I want to be considered the GOAT. No, he was already considered the GOAT long before that.
Same. So that right there is the end of the video. And I'll say one last thing. LeBron James, if by chance you're watching this video, retire right now.
Do it.
The longer you play, the more help you get, the worse your legacy becomes.
It is, yeah.
This loss in the first round with Luka, after tons of hype being a third seed, that was embarrassing. The longer you play, the longer you drag this out, the worse you look.
Hold on, what was his 13 for 21? So he shot okay. What game was this?
That was embarrassing. The longer you play, the longer you drag this out, the worse you look.
Oh,
and in reality, the better Michael looks. So LeBron James, retire right now. Do us all a favor. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
I know. It's just a bad look. It seems a great video, by the way, by Uncut as usual. It's gotten to like a sad point, is what it is. You know, like if he was on a middle of the road team and just kind of playing to play and enjoying himself and having fun, I'd respect it a lot more. But the fact that he's constantly trying to build these super teams still and trying to get that fifth and sixth ring so desperately, it's just a sad look. And the thing is it's not working. So yeah, it does make his legacy look worse and worse and worse because of it. And well, to each their own. But a lot of us have been noticing there's very few people who are like, wow, you know, him still playing is really helping his GOAT case. Because even, you know, us who don't have LeBron even like close to the GOAT conversation, we can see what it's doing to his legacy. And we see him going lower and lower in the rankings because of this. So the best thing for him would be to walk away. Unless he's just playing for the love of the game, but it sure don't look like it. You know, he doesn't look happy out there. I know what he's doing. He's just trying to chase MJ. He can never admit it, but it's what he's doing. At least Kobe could admit it. You know, he had no problem saying he wanted one more than Shaq, or he wanted 7 championships, so it's one more than MJ. You know, he had no problem admitting it, and that's why I respected Kobe towards the end. I'm like, hey man, go for it, young buck. I was rooting against him because I didn't want him to get more championships than MJ, but I'm like, go for it. You know, you set out your goal, go for it, dude. Let's see if you can do it. And he came mighty close. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Great video by Uncut. No, LeBron James will never be Michael Jordan. I mean, guys, even if he won 6 championships, it didn't happen nearly the same way that it happened for Jordan. You know, at this point, LeBron's had to do it with 3 different teams and way more than 3 super teams at this point because of all the building and the rebuilding, especially now, you know, especially right now with the Lakers. It won't hit the same even if he got 6. So LeBron James gets 7 championships to make it a real argument, you know. I don't think so, guys. So I'm not worried about it. Anyways, I'm out of here, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked it. Hit that dislike if you didn't. I know I talked a lot during this one, but I guess I had a lot to say. And this might be the last time I talked about this series and this season for LeBron for a little while, so I wanted to get it all out. Anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the comments. Can't wait to have a conversation. Guys, what would it take for you? Like, realistically, no troll, no trolling. What would it realistically take for you to have LeBron as the GOAT? What would it be? For me, it would be probably 8 championships. Because even 7, I wouldn't do it. But I would understand if he had 7, if that became the narrative. But for me, I think he'd have to win like 8. Because he's lost so much. And also, you got to compensate for how long his career is. So I'd say 8 rings. And then we'll have a conversation. That's never going to happen. Let me know what your thoughts are. What would it take for you? And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. See you in the comments. Peace out. Oh. And be water, my friends.